Juan Miguel Pascal, who is the Deputy Director of the Gorgas Memorial Institute in Panama and Professor of Immunology in the School of Medicine at the University of Panama. Dr. Pascal holds a Master's in Immunology from the prestigious Karolinska Institute in Sweden, where he was the highest-ranked student in immunology, I'm told. His PhD from the Indiana University School of Medicine and his MD from the University of Panama. His clinical expertise and practice has been in Panama with a focus on tropical disease, viral pathogenesis, molecular diagnostics of infectious diseases, and molecular epidemiology. In the past 5 years, he has authored or co-authored more than a dozen peer-reviewed publications, most of those about infectious disease and many of them related to vector-borne illness. He has received and continues to receive numerous large grant awards to study the prevalence and transmission of these diseases in his research areas of epidemiology, molecular biology, and ecology of tropical diseases, including Zika, dengue, chikungunya, and other viruses. He's co-PI of research for the Gorgas USF project sponsored by CDC to understand the effects of Zika infection in pregnant women and their offspring in Central America. He's also co-investigator of the Gorgas project to detect Zika virus in other bodily fluids, and a representative of Gorgas in an IDB initiative with NYU for developing innovative strategies to control Zika. Dr. Pasquale, thank you.
Thank you very much for inviting me. It's a pleasure. It's a real pleasure to be here. I would like to begin with some numbers, especially in Latin America. So far, we have around 450,000 cases of Zika in Latin America. In Central America, we have 50,000 cases. We have around 1,800 microcephalic kids, American so far, and 5,000 pregnant women were exposed, and we are expecting what's going to happen after delivery. So this is more or less to have an idea of the problem in Latin America. The other thing I would like to share with you is we have big problems. What are the problems we have? First of all, vector control. We are not efficient controlling Aedes aegypti and other mosquitoes. We need to be more, have more ways, new ways to control the mosquitoes. What we are doing probably is not effective. There are new alternatives. I don't know if you are going to try, but we in Panama were able to begin to use genetically modified mosquitoes, and we reduced 93% of mosquito population using this alternative. I just came from Rio de Janeiro, and they're using the same technology, but they are going to apply this technology around 50,000 inhabitants in a specific region. So we will see what happens. What we know is using genetically modified mosquitoes will not, especially Aedes aegypti modified mosquito, we do not affect Aedes albopictus. That's another question. Vaccines, I totally agree. Vaccines are excellent, but if they are going to be ready probably 5 or 6 years. And we don't know the effect of vaccines when you have dengue co-infection in the same area. We don't know if vaccines against Zika will increase antibodies against dengue and probably be an effect to cause hemorrhagic dengue in this specific area. New treatments, of course, we need new treatments. Are options? Yes, there are options. Because all flavivirus, they have the same structure. There are some drugs that are blocking the NS3 protease of the virus. In, for example, hepatitis C virus that belongs to the same family. So could we use these drugs against Zika? We don't know. Monoclonal antibodies. Some groups are working on a specific monoclonal antibodies against the proteins that are targeted to enter the cells. So this is another option. One question we also have is, what is the effect of Zika virus in pregnant women when we don't see any effect, for example, microcephaly or going to happen with kids after 1 year or 2 years? What is going to be the neurological damage that they could have? Other important point that I would like to stress is pregnant women are infectious. Now we know that the virus in pregnant women can stay more time than the usual time we see in normal people. And finally, so because I am male, there is no problem with if I am infected with Zika. No, this is not the case. First of all, if I'm infected, I can transmit the virus, I don't know for how long time, because of symptoms. Secondly, we have cases of seizures and also encephalomyelitis and Guillain-Barré syndromes in persons infected with Zika. So Zika is not only a pregnant women or women problem, it's a general problem. The other point that I would like to stress is Zika is not a Latin American or a United States problem. It's a global problem. Probably Europe will be next because of the globalization and mobilization of the people. And finally, I think this is a great opportunity that we have to understand more vector transmission, a great opportunity to understand more about flaviviruses. And this is not the last. As you see, RNA viruses are constantly changing. So we will have more outbreaks. And many of these outbreaks are going to be related to mosquitoes. So we need to be prepared. We need to look for new ways to control the mosquito. Something that is extremely difficult. So that's, I think, the only I can share with you in 5 minutes. And I hopefully I have questions from you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Pascal. As you can see, we have quite a bit to learn regarding Zika and its future implications, particularly in pregnant women and babies. And I think it's safe to say that the folks on this panel would be heartily in support of urging Congress to restore and increase funding to help solve this problem. Before we open the floor to questions, I have one of my own to Drs. Holt and Lockwood. As an audience member for this panel, it seems to me it's pretty clear that Zika is not going away anytime soon, and that it's going to be with us for quite some time. While we might be able to control it, this is not yet at the point of smallpox where we can actually think of eradication. Unless we all plan to live in bunkers for the next several years, what do you suggest that adults and especially pregnant women do in order to conduct their daily lives, but to best protect themselves?
Maybe I'll start with pregnant women, you can deal with everybody else. I think that at this point, if couples are not planning pregnancy, it really is important that they use contraception that's effective, ideally long-acting, reversible contraception. If they are planning on a pregnancy and not using contraception, then they should obviously avoid travel to areas that currently have active mosquito-borne transmission. Pretty reasonable. If that's unavoidable, or if they now live in an area with active mosquito-borne transmission, then there's some practical things they can do to minimize the risk, and that includes having the pregnant woman use a DEET containing mosquito repellent, cover up, and using socks, long pants, long sleeves, and embedding in the clothing permethrin, which is a very effective mosquito repellent. Trying to stay indoors, particularly dusk to dawn. These mosquito species are present during the day, so try to minimize activity outside, and obviously use screens that are in good repair, and stay in air-conditioned facilities. I think that the other current recommendation is that if you the woman is exposed and infected, she should wait 8 weeks for completion of that infection. If the man is exposed and infected, then the current recommendation is to wait 6 months because of the presence of the sperm of the virus in the semen. But now with this information that the virus may persist for more than or up to 6 months, we're not sure exactly what to recommend. I think that a reasonable thing may well be that we test the semen to make sure there's no RNA in it, but that's conjecture. We don't really have any formal recommendation yet. And that speaks to the fluidity of the situation. The data that we're getting is literally being updated almost every day. I wrote an editorial about 2 weeks ago. I realized it's completely out of date. That speaks to the need for really just-in-time information. So adults, other than pregnant women?
Yeah, I think first thing to appreciate is that mosquitoes are a threat for many viruses. In fact, one of the examples that you think about is West Nile virus. This virus that entered the country, spread by birds, but exists now throughout our community right now. So protection from mosquitoes themselves begins at home. Look around your house, take care of your backyard, spill the water, do your part, and certainly be thoughtful when you are going to be in circumstances that there's a little greater likelihood of mosquitoes being around. It's not a matter of being likely bitten as you are moving about or traveling. It's more when you're going to spend some time in a particular area. So be thoughtful of that. Really, it's all about habits, about how you then think about protecting both yourself and your loved ones. Beyond that, there is no really particular Zika specific actions that we're really talking about or could offer to people. And that sometimes everybody would like to have that perfect single solution, but this isn't the case, and that's not what's needed.
Dr. Holton and Dr. Pascale, in follow-up, several weeks ago, the CDC took the unprecedented step of issuing a travel advisory within the continental United States. What do you think the utility of such a step is, and what the impact will be long term? Is it justified?
It's okay. Yeah. Of course, if you don't travel to areas of active transmission, you will not get disease. But it's a matter of time. Anyway, you will get people coming from other sides. Okay, and if you have some treated, you will be able to be affected. So, not traveling probably will reduce the risk. For example, not going to Rio for the Olympic Games. Of course, if you want to be pregnant, there is a risk that you can avoid it. But you cannot do this all the time. Otherwise, you will have to have, as you mentioned, bunkering. Stay there. Don't move.
I think it's absolutely appropriate. I think anytime you can share additional information that lets people make informed decisions, that's what we should be doing, timely and as fully as we can. So once you know there is an area that there is some degree of elevated risk, clearly you want to know that. Would that stop me? My colleague in Miami-Dade is in Winewood probably every day, and I would be doing the same if it was here in my staff. So I don't think it would alter what I choose to do
open the floor to questions. In the back of the room, we have two Mersani College of Medicine medical students who have graciously volunteered their time. They'll be walking around with microphones, so yes, raise your hand and we'll come to you with a microphone. Please wait till the microphone gets to you. Gentlemen, right here in the 1, 2, 3, 4.
Thank you very much, Ricardo Julieta from the Department of Global Health, College of Public Health. I'm really pleased that we are addressing this public health problem, which has been declared by the World Health Organization as disease of concern, worldwide concern. I have maybe 20 commentaries, but I would just focus on maybe 2 commentaries. Maybe the first is the impact, not just in the health of our population, but the possible economic impact that this epidemic, this pandemic can have in our state specifically. We already had the autochthonous cases in Miami. Before those autochthonous cases in Miami, I already mentioned the possibility of having autochthonous cases in Florida can harm our main industry, which is tourist industry. My concern is if we have cases close to places like Disney World, what is going to be the situation in terms of the economic impact? So that's something that we have to be very careful, that we have to mobilize, and precisely our government and our federal government should invest resources to precisely prevent these kind of situations. The second commentary that I have is in terms of what Dr. Pascal has mentioned in a certain way, is that the main concern here is pregnant women.